Hey everybody, it is John here from Mo City Reptiles, and today we're going to be talking about if corn snakes are the best pet reptile for you. So, welcome back to the channel everybody. This here is Dubois, one of our corn snakes that we use for our education programs. But before we get into this video, a lot of y'all are not subscribed, so definitely go and like and subscribe, stay active with our channel, help us out. I'm on the road to get 200 subscribers before the end of 2025, so definitely help us reach that goal. We're at 180 right now, so close. I believe we can do it, but that's enough said about that. Let's get right into the video. So corn snakes are a North American colubrid found in the southeastern part of America. These guys are not venomous, and they grow to be around 4 to 5 feet, with some adults even getting up to 6 feet. Now for handling on a corn snake, they're real chill, it's real easy. While ball pythons are a little more timid, these guys are usually more curious, more adventurous, and they're thinner than ball pythons, so they're not usually as strong. These guys are mainly terrestrial animals. They do show some arboreal and fossorial behaviors, but they are real slow going, real chill. They can have little spikes where they're a little squirmy, but I can say I've never been bitten by a corn snake. I've been bitten by burms, king snakes. I've even been bitten by hognose snakes, but I've never been bitten by a corn snake. So I would say they are probably the most chill snake, except, I do believe African house snakes are a little more chill, but corn snakes are definitely amazing with handling. I've never had a problem with them. They can, again, get a little squirmy from times, but that's pretty much all you're really gonna have to struggle with. Now, going into availability for corn snakes is real easy. A lot of people work with them. They are readily available, and many different more, so you can find them in. You got Okeetees, Snows, Butter, Palmettos. There's so many different types, and a lot of breeders that work with them. They are also pretty low price. You can find them, I've seen corn snakes for $25. So it is not a hard thing to find. And most expos, pet stores, and breeders have them. So it is something that you can get your hands on, and you're not gonna have trouble finding them. Now going into their husbandry. So for enclosure size, for babies, you can get away with about a 10-gallon, 20-gallon, but for adults, I would not go any smaller than a 40-gallon. And that's if they're on the smaller end. Now for my adults, I like to offer them with a 4x2x2. That just gives them enough room to fully stretch out. If you offer arboreal or fossorial areas, they will take advantage of that and show behaviors. She is just so adventurous. But giving them all this enrichment in a 4x2x2, they will take advantage of it. They are very active. They show behaviors with basking. They sometimes will burrow, they will climb, and they will explore the whole cage. Within our enclosures, we like to offer humid hides, dry hides, climbing opportunities such as branches or rocks to climb over. And we also like to just give them some things to interact with, such as plants, leaf litter, or even things such as like lotus or seed pods. Now going into heating and lighting, their heat for their basking is going to be around 88 to 90 degrees, while their cool side is going to be around 75 to, I would say, 82. With their UVB lights, you don't need to provide any. We provide it just as a little extra benefit, but it is not essential to them. It's just an added factor that you could provide. Now for humidity, it ranges. They can go as low as 40% humidity, while being with spikes up to 75. We like to provide different parts of the enclosure with a little bit different humidity in ways such as offering humid hides, dry hides, and also regular mistings. When you don't have enough humidity, it will ruin shedding processes. It can also cause them to get respiratory infections. When you have too high of humidity, it can promote things such as scale rot, or also give them respiratory infections. So each one, if you don't have enough or too much of, it can cause health issues that we're trying to avoid. So try to stay within the parameters of their temperatures and humidity, so they can just live pretty good and have overall good health. Now for their diet, as most people would suggest, snakes are carnivores. Majority of snakes are carnivores, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if there's any fruit eating snakes, but It is rule of thumb to feed no bigger than the thickest part of their body. So Dubois here, she eats adult rats, or weaned rats, or where they're called retired rats. I forgot what they're pretty much called. But don't feed any thicker of the body. When they're babies, you'll offer things like as pinkies. There is a fruit fly. You offer things such as pinkies, fuzzies, and upgrade them as time goes. You do not want to overfeed your snakes though, or give them too big of a meal, because it can be hard to digest. And if you're force feeding or power feeding your snake, you can run some issues with that. You know, a lot of breeders I know do it, but it is not recommended. Try to give regular feedings, which is usually about every week when they're adults. If they're like a really old adult or really big adult, you can move to every 2 weeks. During the winter, they might slow down a little bit, depending on if you drop the temperatures, but that is most reptiles, just because during the colder months, they slow down their metabolism to waste less energy. Now, altogether, I think corn snakes are one of the best pet snakes you can have. I put them above ball pythons, just because I've never had an issue with a corn snake from biting, from having trouble feeding, or even really having any health issues. Now, within the rescue process, we have seen some with mites or some with respiratory infections, but it's usually pretty easy to fix. Corn snakes are amazing pet snakes and amazing animals in general for, I believe, anybody. They're a good manageable size. They're usually pretty slow going, pretty chill, and their care requirements are not hard to complete. You know, being a North American colubrid, their stuff is usually pretty easy to mimic, while in like animal or African pythons, it's going to be a little bit harder just because they're from a different climate than we know of. But corn snakes, again, really chill. I think they're a 10 out of 10 and bulletproof animal. I think you can find one that is very beautiful depending on what coloration and morph you want. And there's a lot of breeders out there working with them. So leave a comment down below if you agree with this opinion. Again, thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe, help support the channel, and we'll catch you next time.